Good morning, panel members. May I have a seat, sir?
Yes, ma'am, please. Hey, hobbies are very nice. Which books have
Thank
you
you,
read? Which is the last book which you have read?
Sir, Mohenjo-daro by Om Thanvi, sir.
What does it talk about? I haven't read that. What does it talk about?
Sir, it's a book which explores the landscape of the ancient civilization of Indus Valley civilization site of Mohenjo-daro in Pakistan. Mr. Om Thanvi is a senior journalist who himself traveled to Mohenjo-daro, and based on what he saw and experienced, he wrote this book, sir.
You got a very nice mark in class 12. 93% is a decent, very good mark.
Thank you, sir.
So, why did you did what? You sort of graduated, or you did a 5-year course, five-year law course?
Yes, sir. Integrated law course from National University, Jodhpur, sir.
From Jodhpur?
Yes.
Yeah, Jodhpur is a good place. And you got a very good mark, 8.52. How high up in class was that? 8.5 would put you what? In the top 20%, top 10%?
Sir, certainly top 20.
Yeah.
The last I remember around semester 8, I was in top 5. But after that, my marks slipped down a bit, and I'm not aware of the final position, sir.
Which school did you go to?
Sir, in 10th standard in St. NNRSV in Bikaner, sir. And my 12th standard was from Jodhpur, Sonlal Manihar School, sir. And that's it, sir.
Good. So, what kind of music do you like?
Sir, I like to explore diverse genres, and I like to discover songs that I might like from different languages.
Different languages?
Yes, sir. I might not understand the language, but when I find a song that is musically appealing, I try to search the meaning of the songs. Otherwise, sir, sometimes I hear of some songs which are very popular, and not just because of a pop culture reference, but also they are renowned artistically. So sometimes I research those songs and try to listen and see if I also like them.
So, what was your favorite subject?
Sir, I chose law because of constitutional law, so that has been a consistent favorite, sir. Other than that, sir, contract law.
But constitutional law, you don't get much of a chance to address as a magistrate, right?
Sir,
So what
yes.
happens to you? So you can bring the perspective to bear
Yes, sir.
and address and interpret the statutes, no doubt.
Yes, sir.
But why should you not practice? You're smart.
Sir, practicing and working as a judge, they are both very reputable careers, and they both can contribute a great to the good of the society. Sir, I believe, according to what I have understood of my own temperament and my own interest, the way my mind works, I believe being a judge is more suitable to me rather than litigating on a particular side of an issue, sir.
Very good.
ये हार्मोनियस इंटरप्रिटेशन क्या होता है?
Sir, when there are two possible interpretations, when there is a conflict of two statutes, sir. For instance, a statute laid down by a state legislature provides for the regulation of, say, gambling, sir, and another is a central legislation, and they are both conflicting. Then the court tries to take a interpretation which does not kill the spirit of either of the laws. So an interpretation which does not negate any of the law provision of any of the law, that is, sir, harmonious construction.
Can you cite a law, Supreme Court law?
On harmonious construction, sir? Sir, I cannot recall, sir. Usually in cases of conflict between central laws and central laws, state laws and central laws on the same related matters, sir, harmonious construction is sometimes applied. Other than that, sir, there are also other.
There is a concurrent list.
Yes, sir.
For which the central as well as the state government can make the law.
Yes, sir.
If there is a conflict between both laws,
Yes,
which
sir.
will law prevail?
Sir, the central law will prevail, sir.
Always.
Pardon, sir?
Always central law prevail.
Always.
Always, sir. Yes, sir. Always, sir. Central law will prevail, but state, if it has made a law and it has been reserved for presidential assent, and then it has received presidential assent, then the state law will prevail. But then also central can again amend the central law afterwards, and then the position will again revert back to central
If there is a
government.
conflict between fundamental rights and on directive principles?
Sir, there has been a journey from judicial legislation. Sir, initial position was that fundamental rights are transcendental rights, which was laid down in IC Goloknath. But eventually, as the position currently stands, directive principle have carved out a niche for themselves. The directive principle will be used to determine what is the scope of reasonable restriction, and in the light of directive principles, fundamental rights will be interpreted.
Is the directive principles is enforceable by court of law?
No, sir, they are not justiciable. It has been stated in Article 37. The directive principles are not directly justiciable.
ये personal life and liberty का क्या concept है?
So, personal life and liberty is a concept originating from the concept of human rights, and the Constitution has also recognized it under Article 21. It says that being born a human ensures that every person is entitled to take his own decisions and make choices in matters of personal matters, sir. Like sir, eat the food that he wants to eat, wear the dress that he wants to wear, marry a person of his or her own choice, sir, sexual orientation, sir, sexual identity, sir, and a lot of similar issues, sir.
What are the restrictions?
Sir, the restriction that was literally provided under the Constitution was that it can be curtailed by a law made by the legislature, procedure established by a law. But with the judicial interpretation of the Article 21 after Maneka Gandhi, sir, the procedure also has to be due process, sir.
Tell me only, Beta, what do you think about this, the latest controversy going on with regard to Lopu Sharma? What's your view? So, did you get to see the video?
Sir, the Udaipur video, sir?
No, not the other video.
Sir, that was the most.
Lopu Sharma.
Sorry.
Lopu Sharma. That what she said she did.
Sir, I did not happen to see the video, sir. I read about it in the news, and as far as I understand, there were comments made about Prophet Muhammad.
Like what comments?
Sir, about his relation with his first or I think second wife, sir. And the allegation was that it was akin to pedophilia. That was the allegations made in the comments, sir.
So it constitutes what? Does it constitute the hurting of religious sentiments?
Yes, it comes under hate speech, sir, and it also hurts religious sentiments because the person that is being talked about is held in high esteem by the members of a particular religious community, and in such sensitive matters, sir, in my personal opinion, the historical truths are not as relevant as the effect they have on our present, sir. India is a country which is composed of religious, linguistic, and a lot of other diversities. And it is very important for us as a nation to hold the secular fabric and at the same time try not to hurt the sentiments of religious sentiments of people. Otherwise, there are internal security issues that may arise. The democracy and the people's trust in democracy may erode. And therefore, in the interest of all these, as well as the international reputation of India as a religious tolerant country, sir, our foreign relations with certain countries, in interest of all these, I believe it is prudent to always keep these interests in mind and not hurt religious sentiments.
So even if somebody speaks truth,
Yes, sir.
that will also consider to be inciting the.
Yes, sir. Sir, because inciting religious sentiment, religion, sir, is not a science, sir. It is people's belief. It is people's perception of how they perceive the divinity and how they perceive certain messengers or representatives of that divinity. And whatever they hold true or whatever they hold close to their hearts, sir, it has to be respected. And the respect is not to the religion itself,
So how
sir.
to determine that entire whether a particular person is of that view or entire community is of that view? Nobody knows about that while I'm speaking something.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
not aware. I do not want to even to say I have to say some truth.
Yes, sir. Yes,
That
sir.
this is a facted record that Prophet Muhammad had married to a 9-year-old girl.
Yes, sir.
But you go to an example of Holocaust also.
Yes, sir.
Because in Germany, it is almost, it's an offense to deny the Holocaust.
Yes, sir.
You know,
Yes, sir.
actually nobody looks at the truth
Yes, sir.
of the Holocaust or not, because to maintain, peace and harmony. So I think you might have a point in saying that historical truths That means even if they be the truth, are not relevant. It is the beliefs,
Yes, sir.
right? And because people are motivated by beliefs.
Yes,
this
sir.
Is, this is more than, but because in Europe, the fact that you can't deny Holocaust. Even in the most democratic, liberal countries in the world, it's an offense to deny the Holocaust.
Yes, sir. If I may elaborate further
Yeah,
on my
so
own
you
opinion.
are right. I said that the facts are not relevant when it comes to hurting of feelings.
Yes, sir.
That's what you're saying.
Yes, sir. And also to what sir said, sir, the fundamental point is here is not the truth. It is the intention of the person speaking. Sometimes intonation of words, how the words are being said, what the context is, it can give a message that the words are not coming from a reform-minded person, but they are coming from a mind which is filled with hatred or contempt for a particular religion.
Well
So
said.
that also, sir, matters, sir.
What is principle of Dolly in capex?
So Dolly in capex said is the principle of immunity given to the minor under 7 years of age. It says that any offence committed by a minor who is under 7 years of age is not culpable, sir.
Is not culpable.
Yes, sir.
So from the which section?
So section 81 of IPC, sir.
82 of the
82 of IPC. Sorry, sir.
So in 83 is also provided that child from 7 to 12 are also immune until unless it is
Yes, sir.
proved that they have some understanding.
Yes, sir.
So you have interest in law. You worked hard, I say.
Pardon, sir?
You worked hard.
So,
Yes, sir.
so
Yes, sir.
since you are giving replies to just I make out a illustration.
Yes, sir.
If one person is going and cause an accident,
Yes, sir.
one died.
Okay, sir.
The same person or another person
Okay, sir.
having drunk, knowing well
Voluntary
that he can cause
intoxication, sir.
accident,
Yes, sir.
or he can cause death, or he can cause
Okay,
injury to anybody, drove the vehicle and hit somebody, and that man expired.
Yes, sir.
The third contingency is a man intentionally knowing that I have to kill this man, drive the vehicle and hit him. What offences in all the three circumstances are made out?
Sir, in the third offence, there is certainly the offence of causing murder, because he has been doing an act which is not just rash and negligent, but it is
With
so
intention.
probable and with intention, sir, that it is likely to cause death in all circumstances. So that one is murder, sir. The second instance wherein the person is voluntarily intoxicated, sir.
Yes, voluntarily intoxicated, knowing well
Knowing
that
well.
I cannot drive the vehicle.
Yes,
I
sir.
still drove.
Sir, even then it is culpable homicide, although not amounting to murder, because the intention is lacking, sir. And in the first instance, sir, it is causing death by rash and negligent act, and the defense of intoxication will only be applicable if he has
No,
not
in the first there is
not
no
voluntary-
intoxication.
Only national negligence.
in that case.
So I taken just all these things from the Salman Khan's case.
Yes, sir.
So these are then in first case this is 304A, the causing by rash and negligent. The
Yes, sir.
second is since knowledge was there that he
Culpable,
can cause
yes,
accident, it will amount to
Culpable.
culpable. And in the third
The
case
question
it
is
will.
culpable part 1, part 2.
Yeah.
Sir, there are part 2 is for when the specific knowledge is there, sir. That this person specifically, if I hit him in a particular way, will die because of his personal circumstances, sir.
Not to a
It is-
particular person,
Yes,
but to
sir.
any
The
person.
general knowledge that this act is
Yes,
generally
yes,
fatal.
304 part 1.
Yes.
Part 1, part 2.
Sir,
Part 1, part 2.
part 1, sir. Part 2 is for specific knowledge,
But
sir.
part 1 is more serious offense. Part 2 is a lesser offense. If logically, I can't formulate
Yes, sir.
right now. I think because it probably be part 2. I don't know. It's my hunch. You theorize. Because the lesser offense is part 2.
Yes, sir, yes,
Part
sir.
1 is a higher offense.
Sir,
Minimum
but
sentence. It probably be the lesser offense.
I still think it should
Also in
be.
part 1.
Yes, sir. I'm still on part 1.
And why did you say part 1? Just come again. Why did you say part 1?
Sir, yes, sir. Sir, because here the fact that he knew his act is so dangerous and he still caused the
Knowledge or likely to cause. The point is the knowledge that it may cause death, and it is likely that it may cause death.
sir, the knowledge is a graver.
Knowledge is graver or likelihood is graver?
It's a likelihood because when he
See, I'm a
when
little
he started
confused, like,
give me
started
a-
driving vehicle, he was not aware to whom he will it.
So if you are a judge, you read it, you probably know right now orally might not be able to do it, but if you write down and that's what I'm sure you do well. Don't worry, you're doing fine.
What is the quantum theory?
Quantum theory, ma'am. In the quantum theory, sir, ma'am, sorry, there the fundamental, the traditional theory of Newtonian gravity that has, I believe you're talking about the physics quantum theory, ma'am, right? I'm a little confused about the context. So in quantum theory, ma'am, the traditional Newtonian theory, which was further elaborated by Einstein, it said there are four fundamental forces, and the quantum theory is a new theory which does not fully well explain the gravity as a force, because there are no gravitons so far discovered.
Which section is there?
Section, ma'am, I'm not aware of the legal
They
basis.
go through constitution.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there any difference between constitution and constitutionalism?
Yes, ma'am. Constitution is the document which holds the philosophy and the fundamental law of the land. Constitutionalism is the doctrine which said that government always has to be limited. This fundamental principle is known as constitutionalism, that the state should never have the
Absolute power.
yes, sir.
Unhindered power.
Unhindered powers.
Natural justice theory.
Natural justice theory, ma'am, it says that there are certain fundamental principles of natural justice, like rule of law, hearing the other party, and these fair trial, these should always be ensured to everyone, ma'am.
Is there any case in which this natural justice theory is applied?
Ma'am, Maneka Gandhi, which elaborated and said procedure established by law should also be due process, is an example.
Pinaki, what is the meaning of your name?
So it's a synonym of Lord Shiva, and if I may elaborate in Hindi, that would be more apt. May I?
Yes.
जो शिव जी का शिव धनुष था पिनाक, वो उन्हें कण्व ऋषि के तपस्या के बाद जो उनकी मूर्धा पर जो उगाया था बांस, उससे बनाए गए 3 धनुष में से एक था शारंग, गांडीव और पिनाक धनुष। ये तीनों शिव जी को दे दिए गए थे। पिनाक धनुष वो था जो राम ने सीता के स्वयंवर के वक्त तोड़ा था, और चूंकि वो पिनाक को धारण करते थे इसलिए वो पिनाकी कहलाए सर।
अच्छा,
You know, one of the Supreme Court judge was also Pinaki. His name Pinaki Ghosh.
Yes, sir.
Recently retired as a Lokayukt of India.
Yes, sir.
Pinaki
Yes,
Chandra
sir.
Ghosh
Yes,
retired
sir.
on 28th of this May.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yes. You're good.
Thank you, sir. Any improvements, sir?
Good. It's very difficult for us to say much to you too. We hope all the best to you. Huh?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.